So I'm reading today from Acts 13, and the verse that I'm really looking at is verse 22, the bottom of 22, where I've underlined it. And when he had removed him, he's talking about Saul as king, he raised up unto them David to be their king, to whom also he gave testimony and said, I have found David, the son of Jesse, a man after mine own heart, which shall fulfill all my will. When you look at David's life, most of it, he was definitely a man after God's own heart. He was a really good king. I mean, he started off killing the lion and the bear, learning to be a good shepherd over the flock. And then he was chosen to be king, but he did not flaunt that in front of Saul. He was just his musician. He would go there and soothe him when he was feeling evil. I'll just put it that way. So as a young child, he met Jonathan and they became knitted together. They were best friends. And David became king. But before he became king, what I love about David is he honored how do I say this? He honored the person who was in authority over him. And that's something that we don't see that much these years. But David would not let anyone put their hands against Saul, especially when Saul was coming after him. If you read the book of Samuel, you'll read about David and Saul. David didn't want to dishonor him. To him, he was still a king. He was still God's anointed. And so when David became king, even though he made mistakes like we all do, he repented of those mistakes. And his heart was in the right place. And I love that God says this about him. I found David, the son of Jesse, a man after mine own heart. If you read the book of Psalms, most of it is written, or a majority of it is written by David. And David is singing all these psalms and how much he loves the Lord. And it's amazing love that he has. And of this man's seed has God, according to his promise, raised unto Israel a Savior, Jesus. So Jesus came through the lineage of David. Take your time, and I don't give people homework, but read about David, his life as a king, his life before he became a king. When he first used the slingshot and killed Goliath. And then his life and his children and his legacy. There were things that he did that were wrong. Solomon had the same kinds of sexual sins, and it came through David. There's a lot there, but God still says this is a man after his own heart. I love it. It's amazing. But God knows our heart. So the love that David had for God was so awesome. And even when he made a mistake, he came back and he loved God with his whole heart. And his relationship with God was so good that God has told us about it. I found David, the son of Jesse, a man after mine own heart, which shall fulfill all my will. He knew that he would fulfill purpose. Can we say that? Can we say that God knows our heart, that we're after, we love him to the point where we will fulfill all his will? I know. That's a lot. But if we stay in his word and we stand and we spend time, we meditate, we love on him because he deserves it, we'll be like David. Love y'all. This is Melody coming to you from Texas. Bye for now.